Jumping back in, we are going to start with Rowan and Briar, as you guys have made your way to the bakery.
I'm gonna walk right by it, and I'm gonna. Is this what you're looking for?
Yes, I just need a few simple tarts. You know,
Tarts.
magic uses a lot of weird things, and I'm just want to make sure I'm prepared for everything that comes our way.
Okay, so Rowan's gonna walk to the door and open up the door for Briar to go in.
Like outside, there's this like log carved to be like a baguette, in the doorway, and even the handle itself is a baguette. And you walk in, and there's a man with kind of like a white apron, and with like this like white powder all over it, and he has kind of like handlebar mustache, and kind of like a chef baker's hat.
Hello, Mr. King of Pastries.
Afternoon.
King of Pastries, who has told you my name?
Well, it's very clear with the crown on your head and the flower on your face.
This whole thing. That's the chef's hat.
So I just need some tarts. Ron, would you like anything while we're here? It's on me.
No, I think I'm okay. I don't have much of a sweet tooth.
Oh dear, you're really missing out. Tell me, do you ever just make things for fun? Do you have any wackadoodle pastries that no one's ever had before?
Wackadoodle pastries. My specialty. And he has like a bunch of different like balloon animals of bread, like different shapes or whatever. One of them is like, this one I call my duck. And it's like shaped in like this, like in a duck. It's actually baked kind of interesting, like to where it's like shaded in different areas, based on like how it was cooked in different times. Kind of interesting little look.
I will take your duck and just some other simple pastries, please. Thank you.
Absolutely. And he kind of like gets this like little paper bag and like stuff some tissue in it or whatever, and you have, I don't know, how many tarts were you looking to buy?
I'll just take like 7.
7. Okay. With that, it would be that would be a silver piece.
Okay, cool. Sick.
Okay. All together though, with the rest of whatever else you're getting, I would say just go ahead and do 2 silver.
Okay.
So mark off 2 silver for you.
Okay.
Okay.
That's really all I needed. I think I'm all good to go.
Good to go. All right. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye, Mr. Pastry King. I'll see you again.
Rowan's gonna walk out
Goodbye,
first and then
tart
hold
queen.
the door for Briar again.
Okay. You guys
should we go
make
to the
your way back?
tavern?
Blind is not here. Oh, welcome
Yes,
back.
here.
Okay.
I had the opportunity to step away, so.
As you guys are making your way to Light Post, you guys headed to the Light Post at this point? Light Post Inn?
Yeah, we didn't have anyone else.
You see as you kind of round the corner along the dockside towards the Light Post Inn, you see this, again, familiar like light post with the sign and all that. And coming out of the block right there is Asher and Karan with their items in tow.
Oh, perfect timing. Good to see you both.
Good to see you too. Looks successful.
Well,
You smell any bakery baked goods by chance?
Yes, they're wafting in the air. Sweet
delicious.
pastries.
yeah, Briar wanted to stop by a bakery to grab some stuff. So, you're muted.
You muted.
Kelron, I got some extras.
Well, you certainly know how to tempt me.
Well, shall we go in and get some food for dinner
Yes,
or lunch? Lunch, yeah.
lest
And
I
then
ruin my appetite with these sweets.
Rowan is going to walk on in.
Yep.
And
we'll all continue.
before we go in, I want Karon to take a peek and be like, he made it look like a duck.
Yes, I can see the resemblance. Yes. Hopefully they don't taste like ducks, though. That would be a little disheartening.
So as you open the door, first you immediately notice Bill Bailey kind of looking at this kind of group, kind of crowded around one table here on the left, and Bill kind of like, all right. If there's going to be any trouble, please take it outside, could yous? And then he like looks to you. I remember yous.
Billy!
And as he says that, you see this kind of half-orc figure kind of turn. There we go. He kind of turns and looks at you, kind of like as you guys are coming in. And you see that he is right behind Ace, like close behind him. You don't see that he has a dagger to him because it's kind of on the right side as you guys walked in. He's kind of like right there. But you do see he has a hand on his shoulder, and he kind of like turns to you.
Rowan is going to.
But you might see Volt that is right beside.
Go ahead and roll it. Just go ahead and roll an perception check. Go ahead and roll a perception check. The first two who have entered, whoever was the first two to enter.
That motherfucker is terrified, bro.
Karon, are you thinking the same thing I am? If it's
Yes. Do we recognize these three lovely gentlemen
Do we?
too?
Are they the third?
Do we maybe buy them
there?
drinks at some point? Possibly. No, they're
Oh,
not. They're different.
dicks.
They're
Okay.
different than okay.
A 15
Alright.
for Rowan.
Never mind.
A
That makes this
17
easy.
for Briar, plus perception 5, so 22.
22 and okay, with those you notice kind of immediately these guys have kind of a menacing posture. The two that are kind of facing towards you guys, kind of one kind of behind Bolt, and you see Bolt's face kind of just like he's like looking at them, and he looks to you guys like wide-eyed and absolutely spooked.
Rowan's gonna just look over his shoulder at Asher, and then just kind of just start moving up. But just kind of Rowan's just gonna kind of make himself like a little taller, and he's gonna pull out the gauntlet
So
and approach the table.
Asher's gonna grab a mug from one of the tables and kind of act drunk, and then pat the big guy on the back and cast Charm Person.
All right, what is that for me?
Lay it in thick.
Wisdom save.
Let's see a smart boy.
What's the 12?
Wisdom save of 14.
He is charmed.
I'm gonna go up to him and be like,
I will say
"Hi,
though,
I haven't
will
seen
say
you."
though that the way charm person works, other observers, it is obvious that you are casting a spell, and they will have noticed that you did this.
Fuck.
So if you're being watched while you do this, that is the way charm person works. It's not what you say. There is a spell incantation that you say, and then there is the somatic element to it. It is obvious to observers that you're casting a spell.
Well, I'm hoping that they just think I'm drunk because I'm gonna
Yeah,
be like,
Let me roll
I
perception.
haven't
Let me roll
seen you.
perception on each of those.
Holston, after that, would you say that they're distracted now that they just turned around and looked at these new other people?
I mean, he's got his focus on you, and he does have the dagger kind of in your side. But as far as like distracted, no, I feel like they're kind of trying to maintain control of the situation.
Okay.
What kind of distracted? What are you looking to do?
My thought process was kicking the chair out to obviously put space in between us, and then I'm going to tackle him.
Well, Rowan was gonna put the gauntlet on the table, but okay.
I mean,
Make
is
your
it
choice.
possible? Is it possible?
Let me see with this other guy's roll. Is it possible? You can try.
What would I need to do?
So,
What
I
kind of
would
check
say-
would I need to do? Because,
would say
by the way,
make-
he would definitely be raging at this point. He is
Okay.
beyond angry.
Let me think here. Do an athletics check.
Okay. See what I have for athletics. Oh, nice. 11 plus 4, 15.
The 15. Let me compare this. Dang.
Would it be a strength check? Because I also have advantage on strength checks right now.
It is not a strength check. It was an athletics that I was going for. If you're
Okay.
trying to tackle him, then that would be the strength check. But at this point, he feels the shift of your momentum and digs the dagger in deeper. Let me.
Oh. Ouch.
You feel it dig in deeper. You won't take any more damage from this because the attack doesn't hit. What would you like to do? Would you like to continue or?
I'll sit there for a minute. I'll just sit there for a minute.
Rowan is gonna approach the table. Ace, Volt, how's it going? And I'm gonna look at the gentleman. Kind of. I guess kind of like trying to just not be like intimidating, like, hey, I'm gonna fight you, but letting him know that he is there. Rowan is a big boy.
Roll an intimidation check.
Okay.
Wait a moment. So we have perception. We're there. There's a knife inside of Ace right now. How do we not
You don't
see
know
this?
that there's a knife. You don't know that there's a knife.
Oh, so he's doing sneaky.
You
snake.
do what you do notice, like with the whole insight and with the perception that you guys did roll. Like I said, you can't see the knife because it's literally like
Right.
cloaked underneath his like.
Okay.
He's literally just right there. But it is awkward that he's right there. So there's obviously something kind of menacing going on. But you don't know that there's a dagger to
Who
his
did the
side.
insight check? Who did the insight check?
Nobody did an insight.
Well, because I was going
I
to do an
almost
insight
said
check.
insight, and then I said perception instead. If you want to at this point assess more of the situation, I mean, it would probably ultimately be that you realize that there's some menacing going on. That they're
That's kind of what I'm looking for. Is just a bit more get it out in the open there. Like, okay, this something ain't right about this.
As Rowan sits
16.
down.
It's a 16, by the way.
16 on intimidation.
I'm not sitting down. I'm approaching the table.
Okay.
I'm approaching the table. I'm holding out your gauntlet, about ready to slide it to you.
And
But-
Asher's kind of on this guy's shoulder, acting kind of drunk and being friendly with him.
So I'm gonna look at Rowan and be like, Rowan, my good friend, it's been so long since I've seen you. Meet my other friend, Bort, the one that sold me to Kerrigan Kane.
Kerrigan. Rowan's gonna just make eye contact with him. Nice to meet you.
So that's how you wound up on that boat, then, too.
Bort kind of like addressing each of you. He kind of like steps back a little bit, and by this point he pulls out his scimitar. He kind of pulls it. It's on the same side as his main arm, oddly enough, but he pulls it out and kind of flourishes it and holds it out.
Ron's
Bunch of
gonna put his
friends
hand
you've got here, eh?
Hey, no, we're not looking to fight you. We
Well-
just got here. We're having a beer. Ain't that right, Asher?
Yeah, he's charmed currently, right? His buddies.
Yes. So he
Like,
sees
ha.
you.
Or
He sees
these
you.
These are my friends. How about we grab a drink? And I'm gonna kind of.
With to Bort, like you're gonna
Yeah.
tell Bort. The two
Yeah, and-
thugs are kind of like the two thugs that kind of on the other side of the table, kind of like looking at you, and they did notice that you did something. They're gonna draw their swords.
Drinks all around.
One of them draws his sword. The other one kind of like backs up, and he pulls out a crossbow, and he's aiming it at you, Asher.
Hey, no.
What have you done?
Well,
What have you done?
Buddy, tell your friends. We go back, way back.
Yeah, I feel like I knew you from somewhere. What's your name again? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Asher, you.
Asher. Right. Sorry, how could I forgot?
Sees, haven't treated you very well, my friend.
The one guy kind of like lowers the crossbow bit.
You know him, then? Yeah, I don't remember where from, but it's a good man.
Rowan is going to nudge Ace. Maybe we should come back later. What do you think?
Hey, let's have a drink, and I'm gonna kind of like try to sleight of hand them to like leave.
And you see as these two kind of like lower their weapons, and Bort kind of like you can see he's like kind of confused, and he kind of like walks over with you, and he puts his sword in.
Barkeep, let me get around for me and my new friends here.
Asher, you're gonna catch up with us later. All right. Rowan's gonna turn to the two gentlemen, kind of trying to distract so Ace and Bolt can walk away. It was nice meeting you both. I'm Rowan. These are my friends. We're gonna head on out for the rest of the evening. So, you guys have a nice beer that's gonna be provided by our friend Asher over there.
Holy fuck, this actually worked.
I'm gonna quietly cast Sanctuary on Asher.
What does that do?
It means if they attack you, it's not gonna hit.
Ace. Rowan's gonna kind of like.
I would say you can see that Ace is acting the same way he was in that temple. His demeanor is in the same aspect.
He's crazed.
He's raging. If you don't do something about that within the next couple of seconds, you will lose it. That's how how rage works. So you are currently raging. You may lose the rage, depending on how you go about this.
Ace, now's not the time.
I agree. We should just find another place to wind down the evening. Don't need to exacerbate or even bring undue attention to ourselves.
Yeah. We're attending a ball tomorrow. We don't want to have that, right?
Is Ace understanding?
Is he
What we're
understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't he?
Can he?
Rowan's gonna pat him on the back and start walking to the door.
Oh, Ace! Ace, you have to try this. I don't know if you like them, but we're about to find out. And I'm gonna shove a pastry in his mouth.
Through the bandages?
Okay.
You're assaulted with the pastry.
Isn't it delicious? I'm gonna give Karan too, and I'm gonna eat one. Like, let's go elsewhere. Let's go have
Honestly,
a
by this
good
point,
time.
your rage has faded.
Yeah.
Magical pastry.
Bolt's obviously with us too. He's coming
Yes.
along as well. So.
Bolt, come on, let's leave here.
Yeah. All right. He kind of like scurries on over to you, and Bort is kind of sitting at the bar, kind of looking at you, Asher.
Hi, so tell me, friend, where have you been?
Well, keeping up with the transport business and all.
Hi, that's I've heard they've been cracking down a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to clean up some loose ends.
Aye. Well, sounds like a job for another day. Let us have a drink, celebrate.
Have we all shuffled outside? What would you say? Yeah.
So here's the tricky part. The way charmed person works, he's only friendly to you. And so he still views everybody else as an issue.
Oh no, until the spell ends, you or your companions do... Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's what would end it, the charm. So he doesn't view you as an enemy, but he still views everybody else, especially the loose ends.
By at this time, I would have.
He kind of like slams
on,
the.
right?
I would say you would have had time to put the other gauntlet
Okay.
on. He kind of slams the tanker down.
Listen, it's been a pleasure cashing up, but I really have to tend to my business.
And he stands up and pulls out the sword.
Buddy, no. This man, Ace, he has saved my life, and I mean, I owe him a debt. Please, just give him a day.
I suppose it's time to decide who your better friend is, then.
I very much wish that you had not said that.
Yes.
The veiledest threat ever. Like, I'm sorry for your sake.
You chose poorly.
You've chosen death.
Please, Asher.
Let us go outside, my friend.
I really have to attend to this business.
It's not like suggestion, so it's not like he has to listen to. He just doesn't view you as an enemy. I kind of
No, as in like we're going outside.
No, I was gonna say, are we outside yet?
Yeah. Because
We
we
are
were all
outside.
walking.
Because it's a
We all
small
on our way.
The door's kind of open. Some of you halfway outside, some of you halfway in. He kind of like, as Ace has gotten up to leave, and he kind of flourishes his scimitar.
How far away are we from the house where all of our armor is?
Not far, a couple blocks, but I mean, it would be.
Well,
Okay.
Rowan's probably the first one outside, so he's unaware of what's going on. So.
I'm gonna try to stall him as much as I can at the
I don't think you are stalling him much. So while I'm pushing Ace towards the door, I'd like to say, knock knock, who's there? It's me who, and I'd like to cast Hideous Laughter.
charm is broken. I'm fucking gone.
Charm is broken. So what is it for me on Hideous Laughter?
It is level 2 charm, so you know it's no.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So 13. You have to beat 13 wisdom.
Okay. What is his wisdom? Bort, kind of assessing the situation, he flourishes his blade. He kind of notices Ace. And then he hears you say that. He falls down. And he is incapacitated.
Go.
And at this point, his like two thugs kind of like jaunt over to him. You kind of get the sense that they're kind of gonna rouse him to see like what is with him right now. So if you're gonna go, now's your chance.
Get out! Go!
Are we? We're running. Oh,
We're running.
We're leaving. We're going now. We're fine. Come on, Asher.
We're running towards the house. We're running.
Gosh, what is happening?
So that means that Briar's got like her dress like hiked up, and she's like funny.
Asher's gonna try to like duck us down an alley to like
Dick down an alley.
hide us.
Down the alley? Okay.
Hey, that kind of party.
He's gonna dick you
No,
down an alley now.
Jesus.
We're going to the house.
Well, but a roundabout way where we're not like easily like
Steamrolling.
there they went.
Mm-hmm. Yes, try to double back a bit and
Trying not
at
to
this
get
point, you guys are
Scooby-Dooed.
a bit of maybe a block or so away by this point. Roll a perception check. I'll give 2. Let's say Karan and Asher.
okay.
Not me.
That's a 9 plus 6, so 15.
I got a 14 plus 4, so an 18.
With the 18 and the 15, the 18 you just slightly hear kind of like a trudging, and then you hear kind of the faintest like, where'd I go? And then Asher, you hear kind of you don't hear necessarily the boost, but you hear just like kind of off in the distance, where'd I go? Just that. Okay, so a couple blocks later, you guys do make it to the Balin's little place there, so.
All right, so
Keep
What
weapons,
an encounter.
keep armor on us all the times.
What an encounter.
Ace, are you good? Are you good?
Not really. I really want to go back there and smash his face in, but
Can't do that, man. We're here in honor of Balin, and we're also going to a ball tomorrow with the Order of Heroes. We don't want this kind of reputation.
he's a pirate. They'd understand.
And you're Ace.
I think the thing that's most important here would be, despite how justified we might be, and even then, with them, I mean, we can see that he got cut by him now, right? We can see like
Yeah, there
where he
is
got
just a little
stabbed.
bit of blood on the side. It was kind of like almost like he was going for like a liver shot, kind of.
Yeah, which I'm gonna heal him. I'm gonna use my last spell slot to cure you of the 1 HP of damage.
Yeah.
Let's just seal this up real quick here. I'll use that. But
Thank you, Karan.
You're welcome. But I think it best be left to the town's guard. We are in town after all. We might be honored guests per Asher, but no one's deputized us to enforce the writ of law in this town. Not yet, at least.
Rowan's gonna nod and then walk inside and go straight to the bunk, put on his armor, grab his sword, and his pack in the event that they have to leave. So
Yeah, Asher will be doing the same.
Yep. Ron's gonna finally mend his garments.
Okay.
These-
Excellent. If there's anything else you guys would like to do before you wind down the night and be tomorrow.
Rowan would still like to find a place to eat dinner.
Oh, okay. So yeah, let's have tavern time. So you're not sure about that one, but you had heard mention of the other little bit more upscale Tides Tavern,
Which I would know about, right?
Well, even so, Caron and I know about it.
Yes,
I met
you
Balin
was.
at. Yep.
You did. Yes, you were familiar with that one. It's a little bit higher end.
Balin, I think we're going to Tide's Tavern. Would you like to join us?
As much as I'd like to have a conversation and having a beer with Billy Bales, looks like that's not on the tables. And all right, let's do it.
All right.
So you guys at Asher, you kind of roughly know whereabouts to go, and you come upon this. It's not in a whole lot better condition, this one, than the other one, but it is much larger. It is a much larger tavern, and the rooms aren't just like in a loft area. It's actually like closed off within there. And
Drinks are probably more expensive too.
While we're
Drinks
going
are more
there,
expensive.
Rowan's just gonna walk side by side of Ace. And he's gonna throw his arm around his shoulder, kind of put his arm around him, kind of grab his shirt, and he's gonna be like, "I know you would have had his ass. It's all right." and then kind of give him like a bro pat on the back, and then just kind of I know, like, Rowan's acknowledging what his, like, he understands what he was trying to go for, but it's just the time is not right for a bar fight. So
Been more of a
I'm
bar
glad you
fight.
guys got me out of there.
what's that?
I'm glad you guys got me out of there. It wouldn't have been pretty.
You're a good man, Ace. I don't want to ruin your reputation over a worse person, you know? We gotta
I appreciate it.
I'll look out for you. Alright. Food.
Food. Okay, so there's this one's a little bit, it seems like a lot of the kind of like the sailors and portmen and dock workers and all that are kind of like, this is the one that they mainly go to. It's a pretty large establishment. The table's kind of pretty full and kind of bustling environment there. And they're as you guys are being seated, different like barmaids and stuff kind of like running around and serving each table, whatever. One kind of comes up to you. What a group! How can I help you?
I think we're gonna have ales all around. We're gonna try to get an agreement for everybody. Briar,
I'll go with a wine, actually.
a wine.
Wine, classy, all right.
I'll take a big grog.
Big grog. What
I
else?
don't think I'll be drinking
She
tonight.
And then what's some good food that you have here? I mean, decent priced, I guess.
Well, what are you looking for? She can hand you a menu.
I could go for some stew if you
Stew.
have any.
Easy enough.
Likewise, that sounds very good.
I will partake as well.
Stews. Anybody else? Oh, I'd like a stew. That sounds good for me. Balin, stew works for me. And you're a simple group.
Thank you, ma'am.
How about you? And he kind of points to Crown and Ace. Yes.
Oh, sorry. I was kind of like just like nodding in agreement. It's like, yeah, sure. So,
Stew sounds
Something.
great. Thank you.
And Elena kind of like, could I get, I don't want to be difficult, but maybe a stew without meat, please. She's like, all right, just a vegetable soup, no problem. And kind of like jots that down and kind of scurries off. And then shortly after, comes back with kind of like a large tray of different, each of your different drinks.
I
Okay.
just wanna eat and drink and then get on out, I guess.
Yeah, eat and drink, and then I have a question for you, DM. Is there a small dance floor in this tavern?
A small
Where
dance floor.
Probably where the bard is playing, and I imagine on a stage or something along those lines, or
There is like this small stage with a kind of a bard playing there, and he does have kind of this empty case or whatever here that people have kind of like given different donations and such. But as far as like dance floor, not a whole lot. Like
not really. Okay.
well, I mean, there's like this small open area like between the tables that kind of like this little bit of space to just give the bard some kind of performance room or whatever, but kind of in front of that little stage area.
Okay. Well, then I guess we just eat and drink and get out.
Yes.
The bard is kind of just plucking away on his lute and do I do it? Do I sing a song?
Do it. No.
that's
Go.
entirely up to you.
Wait,
what do you want to do?
do that once.
If you sing, I'm going to eat and dance in my seat.
He has kind of this like kind of one of the like small tricorn cap with just like a feather coming out of it, and sleeveless like vest, almost like he's just only wearing a vest, and kind of like ruffled legs. What's the song? Let me make up one. He's singing kind of like a kind of slower kind of parlor music, nothing too like jaunty or whatever. It's kind of a as the night is winding down, or I guess because it's not super late into the night, it's kind of the slower stuff until, you know, the wild parties begin, or the wild part of the night.
Once the midnight hour hits, that's when
I have a song.
He's beatboxing, everyone.
This is a new instrumentation. I've never heard this before. But he's like plucking away, and he's like really into it. Wise men say only fools chant in, but I can't help feeling beguiled by you.
Rowan's playing to the music.
Olsen,
It is the sorest that, my friend.
that was my IRL first dance song.
No!
The Crazy
Aw.
version.
No, I changed
Yeah.
the lyrics. It's different. It's a totally different song. What are you
You
guys?
just
What
shot
song are you
me
guys
the
talking about?
soul, homie.
Only fools jaunt in. I can't. Wait, I can't help feeling beguiled by you.
Now sing it, but using Balin's singing voice.
Oh, God.
Balin kind of Johnson. Wise men say only fools jaunt in, but I can't help feeling beguiled by you.
Beautiful.
Bravo.
It's another one of Grizzy and I's favourite song. We love that one. I tell you, that one works on the women every time. And he kind of like eyeballs around, like looking for like. You see, like as he kind of like eyeballs around, and let's not forget, Balin has a little like orange monocle thing, whatever. He kind of like looking around, and you see, kind of like catch his eyes with this like red-haired braided dwarf lady, and kind of like lots of cleavage showing, and she kind of like
Gives her the
stuff. Exactly.
I'm gonna wave down the waitress to let her know that we're leaving, and kind of get the cost. What would the cost be for the dinner?
I would say, just for simplicity's sake, let's just say is 2 silver piece each.
Okay, Rowan is gonna pay for Elena.
Okay.
Well, Balin, I hope you would Rowan have noticed the little eye action going on between the two?
Roll perception, sure.
Oh no, that's a 2. Whatever it
2.
is.
He doesn't understand flirting or any of it.
No, she might be Canadian. She might be just really nice.
You know, you really just can't tell. You really can't tell.
Yeah. Well, Canadians, super nice.
Careful, cantrip. You there?
I was gonna actually hang on a second. Can I make a perception check real quick?
Go ahead. See if Corinne understands any of this.
Oh, Rowan is kind of gesturing.
Oh, it's a 17. It's a
Yes,
17.
You
So
noticed,
17.
I mean, it was pretty obvious, but Rowan was
Okay,
really paying
okay.
attention.
All I want to do is just lean into him and just say, "Be sure to use phylactery."
What are you on about?
You've never used protection before.
Oh, usually no.
To each their own, my friend. I'll pat him on the shoulder.
Oh,
I roll a perception check to hear this, please. Please.
Yeah, you
I
hear
just
it. Well, I
I just
guess
wanna
he's
hear the
whispering. He's
conversation.
whispering. Go ahead
I
and
just
see
want
if
to hear
you
the conversation.
roll a perception. Go ahead.
That's gonna be a 12.
12. I'd say enough. Yeah, you caught the gist of what he was saying.
Ace is laughing. He is losing it laughing.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Man, why should I have? I don't get it.
I've never been more proud of my friend.
What about
Doesn't
you?
take much wine to go to Karan's head.
What about you? You ever even been with a woman? Dressing
No,
you,
I
Karan.
I haven't. But then again,
Oh,
technically
you
a priest,
little
so-
boy. You're 200 years old.
oh, that's nothing. in
What
my-
have you done with your life?
Study and sermon for the most part.
Oh, does that get your rocks off then?
Oh, learning.
Rowan is going to be hearing all
At
of
this
this.
point, Balin is a little, he's like kind of belligerently drunk. He's had a
That's-
good number himself.
I said, Captain, to each their own. What were you saying,
Alright.
Rowan?
Rowan is just going to be, what is happening? Conversation. Like,
I'm gonna.
What about you,
lean my
little
head
boy? Leans in over.
Gonna lean my head on Elena's shoulder and be like, "Well, do you think it's time for us to go turn in and get ready for tomorrow? We have a lot of prep work to do."
She kind of like leans in. Yes, I think the extent of conversation has devolved. And she kind of like laughs.
back
But-
home we go.
It was fun. And it was. Balin's kind of like, oh, but the night's just begun. Bunch of lightweights.
Will you can all stay out?
As you
but I
guys,
need to
are you guys like
get
getting
in.
up to leave?
Me and
Are you
Elena
guys, like,
are.
some of you-
Yeah, me and
Okay.
Rowan's going to.
And Balin kind of like dragging himself up. Like, all right, I suppose we'll have a bitter party tomorrow night. He kind of like jaunts over with you, kind of like wide lat walk.
There it is. When we get to the house, Rowan would like to ask something, but when we get there.
Okay. I'll say easy enough. You guys make it back to the house.
Okay.
Kind of the night, as it's just at the part of the night where they're actually going through and lighting the lanterns in each kind of street. You see the kind of the town's guards with their little poles kind of lighting each lantern.
Rowan is gonna tap both Briar and Elena. Okay. I don't know how to dance.
Oh, okay. I am very happy to show you. I will move very slow. It's okay.
Are you guys going in to do it, or are you doing it out in the street?
I was waiting for
The
us
kind
to
of
get
the-
inside the house, like almost like everybody's probably heading to bed, but I wanted to catch them before.
It'd be
they're
kind of
heading to
hard. It's pretty cluttered there. You would have to, I guess, maybe do it in one of the bedrooms. I guess maybe you could do it in
Our bedroom.
your bedroom with Elena and Briar.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. We can do this, Ron. All right. So basically, for the dancing, a lot of it is in your hips, and if you're feeling awkward, you can just like move around like this. But
All right, both of you roll a performance check.
oh, it's gonna get worse. Wait for it. Okay. Plus.
That's a
perform-
16
That's
plus
a-
2,
Oh,
18. I got an 18.
I got a 15. Plus
So you see what she's doing. It's not too bad. Like you're like, but you feel like you could maybe like add a little something else to it. And Elena is just kind of sitting there. Obviously, she can't see you guys. She's like, I would have to be shown how to
Yes.
do anything.
So I'm
The temple wasn't a whole big on a lot. big on dances, and the order didn't really invite the oracles.
Lady Elena, if you don't mind, and I'd like to reach my hand out for her. I'm very rusty.
She can't see
I
it.
would be honored. Well, I'm putting it in her hand. I'm putting my hand in her hand. It's been a long time, but I'd be honored to have you as my dancing partner for the night.
That would be lovely. You'll have to show me the way. I'll follow your steps. Go ahead and roll a performance check if you're going to start dancing. Slow dancing, I suppose.
On dancing with a partner.
Okay, I got a 14.
14. You're not doing too bad, but it's kind of awkward really trying to lead somebody else because you kind of like just bump her foot and you kind of like walk her through, like when you touch her foot, she steps back, and then when she brings the other one forward, she's just brings it forward and taps yours, and she's just going by that like movement and motion of the flow. But your performance wasn't super bad. It was just hard to kind of coordinate both of.
So seeing that we're struggling, I'm gonna look at Briar and be like, Lady Briar, if you don't mind, do you think you could cast some sort of image on me so she'd be able to see me as I dance?
Yes, and another thing, if she's having trouble, she could stand on your feet. She's very light and you are a big man. So, I'll just cast illusion on Ace, and I'll make him look like a giant king. He's just like a king. He's got the crown and big
she
smile.
She kind of like looks up and down. She's like, "Ooh, royalty."
Well, we are going to ball there. Now, Rowan, you're going to place your hand on the small of my back.
Okay.
And you're going to kind of pull me a little close.
Okay.
But not. Here, not that close. Not that close.
I'll let you decide.
And then I put my hand in your hand like this, and we keep a good posture. And then I'll just start walking him through like a box step with like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And don't be shy about counting your new. And if you step on my feet, it will hurt, but it's okay. I'm patient when I'm full.
Rowan, as she's going through the steps, he's like looking down at his feet, counting with her eventually at some point. And then, do we roll another performance?
Oh dear. I'm doing great.
A 17 plus 2, 19.
I rolled a 19 too, so this
all right,
is
you
going
guys are
well.
in great unison. It's a precious little moment as you are stepping. You catch on pretty quickly with that, and
oh boy,
I'd like to still continue dancing with
okay. Roll a perception check. Roll a performance check.
I'll take a perception check over a performance. Let's be honest here. It's 11.
11. She kind of like watching you. She's like, you know, you don't have to be so stiff. And she kind of like pats you on the shoulders and like pats you on the arms, and like, I think it's.
I'm so sorry. It's been so long since I've danced
with
somebody as beautiful as you are.
She kind of like turns away. Thank you. And she kind of like puts her kind of hands on your side, and she kind of like puts another hand kind of like, or I guess it would be like this, and you around the hips. And she said, I don't think it has to be so rigid. Maybe we just move, sway. Go ahead and roll performance check.
While Briar and Rowan are dancing, you can visually see in his face how he's like how fast he's picking it up. He's like, oh, I can't wait to show my mom and Evelyn that I can dance now.
Okay, so go ahead. I'm so sorry, I didn't know you were done. Continue, please.
Rowan's like, I really wasn't allowed to dance where I'm from, so just because of who I am. Thank you for showing me.
Oh,
It's turning into Footloose.
Right.
Cat loose. What was your performance check, Ace?
I did. So I got a 16 minus 1, 15.
15, much better. Still a little like nervous, a little stiff in the movement. She wasn't much better in her in hers. It's kind of awkward. Just like it's an awkward like first dance, never done it before.
Sorry.
But she's smiling. She's having a good time.
Can I risk doing another performance check and try to spin her?
Do
Like,
it.
Yeah. Try it.
Fall onto the bed.
Just keep pushing her.
Okay. 14 minus 1, so 13.
Oh.
Okay,
It's
so
so bad. It's so bad. It's so
you
bad.
kind of like raise one hand and immediately like it's a little awkward the way you do it or whatever, and you start to go to like turn her, but she catches like what you're doing and she does like a little turn kind of gracefully actually with her roll.
Rowan is gonna step away from Briar and like bow down to her and thank you, and then just turn and tell Elena good night and go to his room.
And she like with that she like does the spin. She's like ooh, and then kind of like pats on your waist. All right, boys out.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much.
It was. I had a blast. I'm excited for tomorrow night.
Don't let Asher take all the dances.
Bedtime.
All right, it's bedtime.
For a second, this got gave me Naruto, like Naruto vibes for a second.
You
So,
guys, while we get ready to go to bed, don't forget to follow the channel if you haven't already. Thank you all for coming and for all of your support and chatting. Oh my gosh, we're so lively today. This is amazing. And thank you for feeding off of our energy. We greatly appreciate you. So cheers.
We don't always respond, but we always read. That is for sure.
There are Nightbot commands for social media, which someone already did.
Mm-hmm.
Naruto run. We're gonna Naruto run into your hearts as we take this nap. And well, long rest. Everybody complete a long rest. Get your stuff back, and the day of the morning is yours. Of the next morning, the morning of the event.
Rowan is just going to. I'm gonna let him sleep in. It's a first date on land in a bed. I'm sure that feels very nice.
Yeah. I feel like everybody's a little slow to rise for this. Everybody kind of like, oh, sweet land. The beds are actually pretty comfortable for being kind of what they are. They're just bunk beds for the crew and whatnot. But Balin takes care of his people.
But Rowan's gonna when they get up, Rowan's gonna get dressed and just kind of wait for everybody and to go to Handsome Wares.
Percival Handsome.
I would like to talk to Caron.
Okay.
Morning, Briar.
Good morning. So, did you find anything interesting in the Arcanum shop? The Everly store?
There were, well, of course, I did get you this. I'm going to hand over your, base components.
Yeah. Thank
so
you.
there's that.
Mm.
And well, there certainly were quite a few interesting things, to say the least. There, most of it was well outside anyone's price range at this point. But I did get this book. I'm going to pull out the book that we purchased while we were there.
As you read it, it says "The Tree Within" by Zal Tazir.
Have you read it yet?
No, goodness, no, it's far too long for me to have read it in but an evening. But I imagine I will probably find quite a bit of interesting information, as do I believe both Asher and yourself. Who knows who else might, but
Looks like we'll need to start a book club.
I guess so. I will only have the one copy, but
I know of one.
that rings in the back of my head, and I go,
Ali just died a little on the inside.
I don't know what it is. It's like a frequency thing or something.
Oh yeah, yep.
It's got to be a frequency thing. It doesn't bother me. It's just it's got to be like a. I don't want to offend anybody on accident. It's just a weird frequency thing that my brain does not like. For
you do not have to apologize. It is not intended to be a flattering.
It's meant to be disturbing.
I just want to make sure.
I actually toned it down a lot. Welcome to Matilda's. Exactly.
I don't know what it is.
I toned it down a lot. But Ali absolutely goes insane. It's one of my
super
favorite
effective
voices
if
to
you use
do.
that voice against
super
Ali.
effective.
Yes.
It's a spell against Ali. So
yes. Yeah, I don't know if we'll find the other copy unless we can track down this author. Perhaps this might even be another interesting thing we can inquire about at the party. Maybe someone else knows who this might be.
Who is the author?
Zal Tazir.
Zeltazir, fun to say.
Roll a history check, Briar.
Okay. What is my history? +5, good luck dice. 18 + 5, let's go.
18 + 5. With that, you recognize the name. He is a wood elf author.
Oh, he's one of my people. Oh my gosh, I love his books. I am fangirling right now. You are going to love it. I'm going to love it. He never writes a bad thing. You'll enjoy it.
Perfect. Another element to add to this is one of the original books that you were originally reading, and backstory and all that stuff was written by Zal Tazir.
Perfect.
Brilliant. Okay.
Well then, it looks like we already have a step up on finding this individual. So I trust even more so that this will have some good content in it. And if we don't learn anything, at least we can share something to talk about in common, at least, book club. Other than that,
yeah, that's it.
Just a reminder, Rowan, did you want to describe to Ace about blacksmith?
Yeah, I was just waiting for everybody to get up. I don't know. But yeah, Rowan is going to approach Ace. Well, we're looking at, I think you said 30 gold, right?
20
for
to
the work.
30, he was saying, but we can
20.
go from there.
Okay.
So obviously he was saying that there could be some negotiation perhaps, but...
Okay. So Ronnie said he's willing to work on your gauntlets in the gym. He said he'd have a better chance at it than I would. However, we're looking at 20 to 30 gold. I know you were banking on the whatever tricks that you were gonna do last night, but I know
How the hell did it?
Yeah, sorry about that. Just really wanted to look out for you, man. That's all.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, I'm willing to help you out with it. So if that's something you would like to do, if you have the gold, I can add on to it.
No, I couldn't ask you to give me your own gold.
It means nothing to me.
I have about half of it. Maybe we can find some work that's around town, and I could get the other half, possibly.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pitch in. I want to help a friend, so let's count on that. Ronnie said, like I said, he's gonna work on it, so we can get that gold and get you all fired up.
I'd appreciate it. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be cool. And then let's go get all fancied up for this.
You think we could have like some kind of nickname, like the Fire Brothers or the Flame Benders or something like that? Like something pretty cool. I mean, I don't know.
Fire Brothers sounds pretty cool to me.
I like it.
Everyone's gonna put his hand out for like a fist bump. And,
Yeah, absolutely.
And then say, well,
Super Fire Bros.
The
Super Fire Bros.
Stop it!
It's canon.
Stop, dude.
Super Fire Bro.
No,
Like, totally.
we could probably find a a cooler name, but Fire Bros is pretty cool.
I
for
like
me.
it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, let's go get. What's the word that?
Dressed up,
I heard the word dapper.
dapper. I've never heard of that.
I think Briar said it. I'm not quite sure. What is? Do you know what
Percival
dapper?
had mentioned Dapper.
I mean,
Percival best said dapper. Yeah. What is it?
Mhm.
to be honest, I'm not gonna look much different. I'm just getting my clothes basically repaired.
I'm gonna be honest. I am very nervous. I don't. It was. Yeah. I don't know how it's gonna feel, but it's not in my element.
Listen, my mother always told me, if you go in thinking you're the shit, no one will mess with you. Or they'll think, wow, they have so much confidence, I want to be like them. And then it'll all go as planned. So, I'll be on. Can I tell a secret to you, Rowan? I'm faking it most of the time.
Aren't we all?
Serious. Rowan's gonna kind of give like a bit like. Rowan thought, you're such a badass though. What do you
Only Rowan knows this too. We don't. We think that he's 100% on top of it at all times.
No.
Your
Fake
secret.
Fake it till you make it.
You got it. And then
And
with
like-
that, Rowan is gonna stand up straight, kind of like buff out his chest and just walk out the door. It's totally like really exaggerated, just kind of like the big old strut.
Yes. Please.
So something I want to know when we're leaving, mine, I think Elaine. Okay, I'm bringing my blowgun, and it's going to be my hair's up in an updo, and I have that holding my hair up, loaded.
Perfect.
Straight up like Diana from Wonder Woman with the sword. Yes, I love it.
Especially the fact she was like literally a mage, brings a blowgun still.
You could hand it to somebody else, you know. All right.
True.
So you guys heading your way to Handsome's Wares.
Yes.
Excellent. Unless there's anything else you guys would like to do, you arrive at this place, and immediately as you jaunt in, there stands Percival, as handsome as ever. Oh, dears. I think you are going to be even more satisfied than with the illusions. You're going to love it. Who's first? Elena
Rowan.
kind of just steps right up.
With that, I was gonna say with the pep talk that Ace just did, Rowan is going to, as being the nervous one the last time, he is going to breathe in and just stand a little bit taller and just not as exaggerated as before. He's gonna be showing a little bit more confidence and walk forward. But if he sees Elena, he's gonna nudge her to Elena.
You see as Elena kind of taken to the back room, and all right, I have 3 fitting rooms, so we can do 3 at a time. I will help each of you. I'll just be flying around. So who's the other 2?
Rowan is going.
Briar would like to go.
Just like actually naked.
Got a dress on.
Briar is already naked. Okay. So with that, Briar and Rowan and Elena. So you see as, let me get this off of there. Elena takes a good bit of a while. Percival spends a lot of time working with her and kind of like doing like her hair and stuff like that. But you don't see that behind doors. You kind of gather that he's doing like some hair and makeup and each of that, and kind of like every now and then takes a break and comes and helps Briar, and then comes and helps you, Rowan. Well, I guess he asks if you, do you need any help, darling?
I don't know how to work this, and Rowan's gonna be.
I'm coming in. He just rushes into the dressing room. Let me help. Don't worry, I'm a professional. Immediately, he's kind of like helping you tie the tie, and like it's like this perfect tie knot. Let me go ahead and pop you on the screen. Bye, blind.
Bye, blind.
Bye, blind.
I'm like, no, my dress! Take it back!
Oh,
Blind,
I
the reveal. It's okay. So Rowan comes out, dapper man that he is, on screen there, and a moment later, Briar with her setup. That's exactly what Briar is doing as she comes out. And Elena comes out in her dress and her hair all did and makeup and such. This is all on stream, by the way, just so you want to see.
Really nice. Oh wow, that's
Oh my.
And, roll a Constitution save to hide your erection.
I'm just not like the nosebleed from anime.
yeah.
Actually, would that be a sleight of hand?
Oh god.
Adjust it. Thank God I have a high constitution.
I'm kidding. It was a joke. It was hypothetical.
He's like, no, I'm making this roll. This is canon.
As we come
He
out of the
takes-
dressing rooms, Rowan is going to put both of his arms out for the ladies to lock into his arms. And
My
he's gonna
dude.
confident. And then he's gonna give like a little wink to Abe.
Yes, that's my guy right there. And that's what he says as you come out. Like, yes.
Elena kind of like squeezed your arm a little bit. Double gentlemanly.
And he's gonna kind of like do a little lean in, kind of like a little hug to her hand on his side.
And be like, yes, he needs one for each hand, apparently.
And with that, kind of Percival takes the other last three that needed their actual costumes, and Asher. That is one of them. It's Bolt, Balin, and Asher. That only
gotcha.
everybody else has theirs. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But he will spruce you guys up though. But Asher, you spend a moment in there, and you need help with that, darling. Oh, bye, Asher. What happened? He disappeared.
Oh, he's
getting dressed. Come on.
Oh,
Man.
he's getting dressed. In the meantime, while he's getting ready, we have Bolt in his nice little suit here. Oh, I don't think I set up the Balin button. Oh no, Balin looks dapper. Wait, I can do it manually. There's Bolt in his suit. He gets a little bit of spruced up and cleaned off from having worn it. And we have Asher in his suit. Dapper man that he is. And we have Balin. Oh, I can do Balin manually.
Why does Asher look like Popeye the Sailor Man a little bit?
Oh, I never added him. It's okay. Balin looks dapper, trust me. Why does who look like what?
He looks like Popeye the Sailor Man. It's awesome. And
The
just
secret to
imagine-
druids is we eat a lot of spinach.
That's the
He's
secret.
gonna rip off his sleeves in a minute and just turn into like the muscles coming out.
And
I love it.
finally, Percival spends a little bit of moment. He kind of like fixes up Bolt's hair and all that, and gives him his makeup, his makeover, and kind of like spruces up each of your outfits, Karan and Ace. You guys are nice and dapper, ready to go. And with that, if you haven't paid, go ahead and minus 1 gold each with your tickets, your invitations rather, and the rest of the day is yours. You are
What did
ready for the night out.
What did Balin look like? We didn't get to see Balin.
I didn't have it prepared. I have him, but
Okay.
I don't have it prepared, so I can't.
No worries. No worries.
I might be able to add it real quick, but you guys want to roleplay while I'm doing that?
Oh,
Hmm?
you guys! Wow, we actually. Rowan's gonna kind of wrestle with his blazer for a minute. We look good. We look sharp.
I like it. You definitely were meant to be in a suit.
I'm gonna cast illusion on all of them to like mimic what they're wearing. I'll be like, Elena, don't they all look so handsome?
Ace hearing that, he's gonna like stand up straighter and try to be like,
Oh yeah, trying to buff up a little bit.
buff up a little bit.
I don't think
Matches
I've
his
seen
eye.
a finer looking group of adventurers and heroes.
Heroes. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get used to maybe hearing that, but it has a nice ring to it.
And there's Balin up there. He comes out. He's kind of like hot stuff. He kind of like does like a pose, like like really awkwardly.
It looks like he had like a box of like cigarettes, just go out like sacking them like.
Yeah. He looks like he should definitely have a
could
cane.
get used to that. Absolutely.
Sharp.
All right, that's enough. Balin. So yeah, the day is your guys. You could.
How much
Whatever you
longer? What time would it be?
You're a couple hours away, a few hours away, I'd say probably. So we can just expedite that if you guys don't have anything you'd like to do in town. I know you were considering the gauntlets and such, but
We were considering pre-gaming as well.
we're considering pre-gaming. Are you going to Billy Bales or Tides?
Oh, Tides. Oh wait, what's the better closest one to where we're going?
I mean, you have no idea whether what's his face would be there or not.
And we do have armor on us. That's somewhat readily available.
Imagine if somebody messed up Sky's dress.
They
kill
were
them.
very
It's your
dead.
choice. You can go to Tides or Billy Bales. You would get the impression that more than likely, what are the odds that those guys are still there? But you never know.
Tides. Let's go with Tides. I don't want to chance it. To be honest, I don't. It's not a good night. Maybe tomorrow night.
Well, are you sure you want to pre-game? I mean,
I
you
don't know
still
what-
have dancing to do.
It also might not cost us anything once we're inside.
Yes, maybe we should just eat so that when you eventually drink at the ball,
I
that
don't think. Sorry, Brad. I don't think you'll need to eat.
Ew.
The Order of Heroes now knows how to have a feast. A hero's feast. At that. And I doubt they're going to skimp for Asher. That's for sure.
Oh. Rowan's gonna put his arm out and kind of. Am I still have? Do I have the illusion in front of me? Just still, Briar?
Sure, yeah.
Do you think? I'm gonna put my arm out in front of Elena for her to. Cross arms with me, and then I'm gonna pat her hand and say, Jethro would be so jealous of me right now. Walk forward.
She kind of like stops, and you kind of like pull her a little bit, as you said, Jethro. And what did he say about me?
I don't think it's for me to tell. Maybe you should talk to him. But it was all good.
She kind of smirks.
Don't worry. It was all good. He misses you. And he cares for you. But what he told me specifically, I shouldn't tell you.
You're a good man, Rowan. Honorable. Terrible wingman, though. She kind of squeezes.
Rowan's gonna laugh. I'm not the most charismatic person you'll ever meet. I try.
She kind of like, as she can see you, she kind of just like does like a boop kind of like on your cheek. It's like, you're adorable though.
And he's gonna turn to the rest of the group. Well, I think we should maybe get there early for the food and the looks to Briar pre-gaming.
Am I still on your other arm?
I would imagine so, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna. We should probably keep an eye out in case Jathurul is there, just in case. Keep a keen eye.
I'll look. I'll keep an eye out.
Hey, Karan, we want to know if he's there for sure.
I'm fairly certain we'll be able to find him, even if it is a larger gathering.
We better.
What if he was there? I'm gonna be excited a little bit. Anyway, go on.
I would cool it. Okay. So yeah, are you guys gonna kind of just dilly-dally around until it's time to make your ways there? It's that like long wait before like the dance and all. Like, I'm just
we didn't sleep in late enough.
I'm ready for it to start. Okay, excellent. So I will say by this point you're a few minutes away from the event that is taking place in this town hall. It's kind of definitely the kind of largest, most majestic building in this town, but it's definitely not like, you can tell they tried to do a lot of doctoring of this kind of like, because it's not the highest it's not the most upper end town in of itself, Mid Cove, but they're trying their best to, you know, celebrate their guests that obviously slayed this dragon. And you see they have different like ornaments and wreaths and stuff kind of like decorating this kind of town hall. It's a really large venue, but at the front there's kind of like a guard there, kind of checking people in as people kind of are making their way in.
I'm assuming Rowan's probably leading the parade, or who would be in front?
That's perfectly fine for you to be.
Yeah, I'd be right behind.
Mm-hmm. We may not even be going in a line. We could just be going as like a
wave.
Yeah, it's kind of
a different line.
Let's do that. We're guests of Asher.
Got your papers, invitations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull out mine.
Mine's in my cleavage.
Jesus.
I mean, I would reach. Technically, mine is there too. It's just, you know, my bust isn't that big.
Yeah, mine's in my pants. Mine's in my pants. I just
Whip it out. Sorry, it's a little damp.
Are you with the Order of Heroes? Don't recognize you lot. Sorry, we have to really vet this this venue, this event.
I'm gonna look, kind of shift a little bit of weight on Elena to kind of see if maybe she can speak on our behalf, because she is. I think she's a.
Okay. I'm Elena Farsight. I'm a hero seeker oracle within the Order of Heroes. Oh, Elena. And you see, as he kind of says this, you see like actually right behind him is like an identical twin of this guard, kind of walks up and like taps him on the shoulder, and he like looks and he's like, oh! And this guard begins to speak. Sure would be a shame if somebody looking like this committed a bunch of crimes, wouldn't it? And the guy kind of, what's going on? And then immediately this disguise drops and you see the kind of familiar face in a dress of Eden, the tiefling that was with Asher. And she's like, I'm just kidding, darling. They're with us. We invited them. He's like, what was that? It's called Mask of Many Faces, my darling. And come with me. And she's like giddy. She like kind of like motions each of you. Well, papers. She's like, hand them to the man and follow me. And she kind of jaunts along.
So,
all right, you enter this hall, and again, there's kind of like string lights in this. It's very like, it's like the Harry Potter like the tables along the thing with like the big tables along the kind of like way in the back, and different lights but it's not as gothic of feel. It's kind of like a wider marble in each of it, and looks again not the. It's probably better than most of what any of you have seen as far as like, upper end, but there are cleaner spaces out there. But.
Wow, this is something.
You see at this point it's a little early. There's a good number of people in there, different kind of like everybody in their different gowns and dresses and suits, and a lot of guards kind of in kind of like nicer, shinier armor with like kind of like tabards to cover kind of the clanky bits and all that, and kind of large kind of posted around the perimeter of this place. And there's a giant table of food along each of these tables, just like an absolute feast banquet. And Eden kind of leads you along. Since you are our honored guests, you will be sitting with us up front. And takes you to this long table up front, and you see the familiar face of that Jormund who was there, and at the kind of center helm is Asher sitting there, and Eden alongside him, and then so like he's sitting there and she's to his left, and then to her left is Jormund sitting there, and to the left of that there's kind of this like portly fellow sitting along there, and he kind of like comes and walks along with Asher to greet you. Oh, did I not set him up? I might not have. Oh, there he is. I found him. This fellow, he kind of comes along. Good to see you. I am Mayor Garros Koska, Mayor of Midcove. What's all your names? Fledgling heroes, are you? Before you can even say anything, he keeps rambling on. So you was all sitting with us at Garros Koska. Garos Koska. Koska. Garros Koska.
Go ahead, go on.
So you's all sitting with us here on my humble abode.
Nice to meet you. I guess Rowan is gonna go full on. Rowan Drogon.
Rowan Drogon, nice to meet you. And he kind of like turns to each of you.
Name's Ace. Nice to meet you, my friend.
Interesting look, Sir Ace. Pleasure to meet you. And Briar, he kind of like takes your hand. Pleasure to make you acquainted. he's a pig of a man. But he's the mayor. He's a creepy old dude. And,
Ace is definitely gonna giggle at Briar's face at that. Like,
he kind of like notices you make that look, like, and then jaunts over to somebody else. And each of you.
Name is Asher Flatfang. Nice to meet you.
Asher Flatfang. You have such powerful names. And you?
Karun, the pleasure's all ours.
Karun. These names are just... I was cursed with Garros, how plain. And And he and turns to Bolt. I'm Bolt. Volt. Fin. Nice to meet you. And Balin, he's sitting there like already like he's like ripped off like a chicken leg. Thanks, Bailey. Nice to meet you. Sorry. Balin, he kind of like salts kind of jaunts over in his like sprightly way and
Can
have
Rowan
you no
kinda-
manners? You should wait for the feast to begin, could you? And Balin kind of, sure, no problem, alright.
Can Rowan kind of, while that conversation was happening, can he kind of like look around to see if maybe he sees Jethro?
Roll a perception check.
I'm gonna lean over to Elena and whisper, I've had better pleasures than that. Oh.
Actually, can Spec do that with
I got
advantage?
20. I got a nat
Oh,
20.
never mind. Forget.
I got a
it.
nat 20. I got a nat 20.
There
I
you
got a picture here. I got a picture.
You're fine. You're fine. With that nat 20, you're totally fine. With that nat 20, looking around at this current moment, you are 100% sure that Jathril is not here.
You concretely discern that he is absent.
You have concretely discerned that he is not here. But at this point, Asher kind of makes his way, Asher Asterion makes his way over in his, oh wait, wrong one.
He's in his battle armor.
Please tell me he has a top hat or some shit. Basically, okay.
He does look really awkward in this, like it is not his, like, it's not his normal wear. It's really kind of awkward. And he kind of like walks over kind of like stiffly. Good to see you, my friends. Glad you can make it. You look very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, Asher. Can you breathe in that?
He kind of like unbuttons the button. No, absolutely. Thank you for carrying. Eden kind of like jaunts over and like rebuttons it. It's just one night. You can do it. You know that we have to. And Asher kind of just like his pants are ready to bust at the seams.
It looks like they're about to split. Like home dogs just go like lip.
Just so swole.
It's so
Dude,
puny outfit.
either not get a boner, we'll split pants.
You know, you don't even think you can eat anything.
Did you say
without
that in character? I just want to know if he needs to respond to that or not.
I said it as Sky.
Okay, you said the sky as Briar. Got it. Button pops and takes out an eye. Dude, that's okay. Stop. I'm reading the chat too much right now. It's too funny. So yeah, she kind of like jaunts over and she's like, she kind of like jaunts over to the long table and is like, this will be fine for the start, but can we please, like, I don't know, have like a circle table or something where we can have actual conversation? And Jormund kind of like,
Well, right, we will start this way, and then once we begin, we will maybe have some of the servers rearrange the tables so that you can converse with your new friends.
Is music playing?
there is a ensemble orchestra playing pianously and kind of like actually behind you and like off to one corner of the, so like as you walk in the back left corner kind of behind you guys where you would be sitting.
Okay.
Let me play some proper Order of Heroes music for this.
Are people dancing?
Is this good? It's not quite started yet. So right now everybody's kind of finding their seats, and that's not that's not good music.
Oh, it's pretty dark.
There's a fight coming.
Ready, Stell. I am prepared, BG.
That idea is out the window. Theron is going to turn to the group. Should we go take a seat? Get some
Seems
sleep?
like the best idea at this point. Yes.
I'm gonna saunter up to Eden. I'm like, Eden, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking absolutely everything. And Asher kind of like squeezes her. Please don't do this again. She kind of like looks up at him like puppy dog eyes. But it's our night.
I'm gonna look back at Karan. I'm gonna be like, ugh. I just wanted to see if there was anything particular that was good. Otherwise, I don't know what to get.
I'm not sure what Midcove has to offer, but I know that Jorman has taken care of us and made sure that we had good shipments in. Right, Jormund? And Jormund kind of like, you see, he's kind of like frantically like running around.
Yes. The finest wines and heroes' feast. Multiple hero feasts prepared for our guests.
Okay.
Almost anything you can think of to ask for, we have it.
Ron's gonna go take a seat and get ready. Help Elena to her seat. You know, push her chair in, pull the chair out, push the chair in as soon as she sits down, and then starts to wait for the meal.
Yeah, at this point, a bunch of different kind of like, hoity-toity people kind of walking in, everybody walking in with kind of an air of importance, like, I am the head artisan, I am the... kind of exchanging those kind of pleasantries or whatever.
I'm gonna lean over to Karan and mock a few of them from time to time. Miss you.
Honestly, I'm sure some of them probably do deserve it.
You get the sense from Asher that he doesn't enjoy the formalities of it too, and he's like, he's bored. Kind of like as people are like coming in.
He's bored. He's uncomfortable.
Yes.
Of course, it gets
Buttons are gonna
the
pop.
stuff that he has to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Jorman kind of walks over. All right, I need you all to be on your best behavior. The donations to the Order of Heroes is our livelihood, and we don't want to disrupt or displease the donors. So everybody just put on your smiley face.
And when no one can hear, I want to whisper to Asher, maybe with a bigger donation, they can get you close that actually fit a little bit better.
Asher's just gonna kind of like elbow her. And be like,
Are you saying this to Asher Asterion? Like you're
Oh,
saying...
Asher Asterion sandwiched between our Asher. How about that?
You would think they would have it in the budget. He kind of just laughs. I have outgrown this suit quite a bit. But I must say, did you guys meet Percival Handsome?
He was very handsome indeed.
Very handsome indeed. He, interesting fellow. And Eden kind of like nudges him. I think he had it out for you. And he kind of like looks at her. You think?
I mean, you really can't tell. He might just been being nice.
I don't think there's a subtle
You really
bone in
can't
that man's
tell.
body.
You really can't tell. Oh yeah,
He
I think he had
just
a
might
really
be an
obvious
idiot.
boner, to be honest. And Asher kind of like bumps her, like, "Come on." She's like, "What? It's funny."
I like her.
So by this point, everybody has it's getting pretty packed. There's kind of everybody kind of along the trail. the tables, lining the tables, and Jormund gets up to speak and greetings, citizens of Midcove. It is a pleasure to have you all here and to be your guests. We know that we know that you value the work of the Order of Heroes, so thank you, heroes that happened to be in town. Mayor, artisan, he kind of like points off to different aristocrats from the town, whatever. Our lovely guests from the Temple of Light, thank you. And you see like these kind of white robed figures kind of like cheers like with their cocktail glasses. Your donations go a long way for helping us to continue the work of the Order of Heroes, and it is always greatly appreciated, and we will be taking offerings all night. The Hero Feast is, of course, brought to you by the Order of Heroes. It kind of goes on and on, like different...
All the sponsorships.
All the sponsorships and all that. It's like a lot of like redundant like formality going into all that. I'll spare you guys that, not have to listen to that. But if we could just get a large round of applause for our esteemed guests of the night, Asher Asterion, son of Aiden Asterion of the Order of Heroes. It goes along the title. He is quite a legend, and of course his companion Eden, and Eden kind of like like waves, and everybody kind of just like rounds of applause, and Percival is there, and Percival is like kind of like dancing to the music that's not even really danceable.
He's music in his head.
Yeah. Now, may we begin our feast, and set before you is just everything you could possibly imagine. It is actually a hero's feast, so you would be able to apply the benefits of a hero's feast to this.
What?
It will last for 24 hours. It takes an hour to consume. You can see actually what that does do. You bring forth a great feast, including magnificent food and drink. The feast takes 1 hour to consume and disappears at the end of that time, and the beneficial effects don't set in until this hour is over. Up to 12 creatures can partake of the feast. A creature that partakes of the feast gains several benefits. The creature is cured of all diseases and poison, becomes immune to poison and being frightened, and makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Its hit point maximum is also increased by 2d10. It gains the same number of hit points from that, and it lasts for 24 hours. So you'll have 2d10 of health. We can roll that later. We don't have to do that currently right now.
Okay,
yeah. We'll do that after we end the session. And so
you might have to actually apply this to all of us to make sure we do it.
We will. By this point, Eden kind of like rallies a few of the servers and kind of issuing out orders to Jormund to kind of like make the tables able to be kind of like a round table where you can all kind of face each other and have conversation as music is playing and such.
Rowan is going to ask for Asher's attention.
Which Asher?
Asterion.
That'll never get.
Excuse me, Asher. Just out of curiosity, do you know where Jethro Merritt is currently, by any chance? I know it's a far shot.
I'm afraid I don't know the Jethro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have been to the Order. He's a part of the Order of the Heroes, and assumed. Apparently, there's a lot more of you than what I'm aware of. But
what does he do there? Sorry, there's a lot of Order of Heroes, and
does Rowan specifically know what Jethro did? Considering
he was a warden for, he was basically, or a watchman for. He was a watchman for Hero Seeker oracles.
Okay. He was a watchman for oracles, a warden, if you will.
Elena kind of like speaks up at this point. He was my watchman for a time. And Asher kind of like leans in. For a time, what happened? Is he okay?
We separated, and I just kind of want to make sure he's okay, and maybe try to reunite with him again.
Elena kind of, I'm sure he's okay. He was a good fighter. He can take care of himself, I'm sure.
Rowan's gonna kind of whisper, I know, I just want to talk to him. If I can.
I do too. She kind of leans down.
Thank you, Asher. Sorry. Rowan's gonna kind of awkwardly go back to eating.
With that,
Ace is gonna lean in. Good job. Couldn't tell you were nervous at all.
So, he's kind of, yeah.
So, kind of Asher and Elena, just to expedite a little bit, they kind of go in and kind of tell different stories about their both being raised in a temple, and Asher kind of mentions, you know, the temple definitely put us on a good path, and I'm thankful for everything we learned there and what they've allowed for us, but I suppose we're both sort of oath breakers in a way. At least by their estimation. He kind of like looks over at a group of the temple kind of priests, and there's like you see one woman in kind of like a more exquisite dress in there, and she has kind of like a veil, but all kind of like whites, and I'd say by most of your estimation, because you know, because they're all around Eswind, she would be the temple mother, or a temple mother of at least the temple in Mid Cove, if not somewhere else. And Elena kind of, yes, I'm thankful for what I've learned in the temple as well, but I know that the Order of Heroes is a force for good, and having experience from both of them is, I think that's what's brought us all here today. And then Asher kind of like leans in, kind of like looks at each of you. So tell me about yourselves. Have you been a party for a while? Are you a hero group?
Rowan's going to look to anybody who wants to talk.
Well, we are more a party of happenstance. I'm gonna look at the group. Our fates kind of just aligned.
They seem to do that when... He kind of points at Elena. She doesn't see it, but he kind of points at her. When she is involved. He kind of just smiles. And then he kind of says, I'm pointing at you, Elena. Elena kind of like smiles and laughs. I cannot control the fates or the destiny, but we're all at its whims.
We've probably known each other for about a week now, right? We would say, guys.
Probably a little over.
A little over a weekend. Probably 8 to 10 days now. Well, now it'd be probably about 10 days because you've had, about 10 days.
Almost 2 weeks. We've been together as a party. We ventured to the Calliope Isles met some unlikely foes, and now we're here. We came back.
It sounds like that would have been an interesting adventure. Any exciting treasure?
No, not it was just more so of snakes, right? Yeah. And temples to explore.
Ooh, like an ancient temple.
I think so, yeah. I would say so.
That's always exciting. Lots of adventure, and well, you never know what's around a corner or what
No kid.
items you'll find.
Yeah, it was a bonding moment for all of us, and we came together as jungle buddies, if you will.
Jungle Buddies. The Jungle Buddies! That's your name. Okay. It's canon.
Now that's gonna be our name.
No, don't let it be our name. Don't let it be our name.
Not our name.
No.
If anything, we're the whistlers because you can't do it.
The Jungle Buddies.
GM can do anything in this campaign, save for one thing.
Save for whistle. There. Well, that whistle. There's a command for it. Danessa, get out of here.
Yeah, that's been a thing since like the first episode.
Yeah.
by the way.
Oh man.
What that mouth do?
Well, since that episode aired, that was episode 3.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. So with that,
Thank you,
Eden kind of
Danessa.
like leans in. Can we not talk about adventure? This is about escaping all of that. Can we just have a night where we're celebrating and having fun? I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
No. Eden, how long have you and Asher been an item?
Well, Asher. he turns. Well, it's actually our anniversary of being together. We've been together for 3 years now. And
So-
I will say, now that we're all close company, we have a bit of a big announcement to make. But
Ron's gonna. All right. Well, but we're freshly new together, but I think we work pretty well together. Ron's gonna lean forward and look at Ace and everybody else next to him and kind of smile and stand a little bit prouder in his chair. And then Destiny
At this
does have
point, as everybody's kind of finishing their meals and the meal is kind of winding down, it's been about an hour as you finish this meal. The orchestra begins playing some different music, and with that, Eden kind of like looks at Asher, and Asher puts out his hand, and she takes his hand, and she kind of like, she takes his hand and she kind of like picks him up. Well, attempts to pick him up, like kind of like hoists him up or whatever. And he's like, all right. And they begin playing some music to have some dance to. And with that, immediately they are the first kind of at the front of the kind of stage or whatever. And as everybody kind of stands up, as if it's like some part of some kind of like ritual or whatever that everybody knows or whatever. And the servers kind of begin to make room. They move the tables to the side as everybody kind of files along the side, and kind of forms like almost a circle as they kind of. Why not? Let me roll a performance check for Asher.
while
Please.
that's happening. Rowan.
Please,
I love
please.
He is
That was-
so awkward. Like he's almost like he's like sitting there, like his hands are kind of like down to his sides, almost like in his pockets, and he's kind of just shaking back and forth. Eden perfectly, of course. She's like twirling around and dancing and kind of like shimmying and like kind of belly dancing or whatever as he's kind of like sitting there and like and they begin to play
as this goes on for a little bit, and every other kind of like different couples join each other. It's not quite like romantic music quite yet, whatever. But then it's let me play something different. Maybe-
Rowan is going to lean forward and kind of look at Ace and kind of do like a little to Elena, like his head motion is pointing to Elena
What is
to
this?
dance.
You're gonna do a head motion to Elena, you said?
Well,
Oh, you're
I'm
gonna
looking
do
to Ace.
to Ace.
I'm leaning over, making eye contact with Ace, and kind of like gesturing, like, "Hey, good
I
dance."
I don't want to seem too clingy though. What if someone else wants to dance with her?
With that, Rowan's gonna. Do you want me to kind of do a smooth transition?
Elena kind of leans towards Briar. Could you take me to Ace, please?
My pleasure, dear. And I'm going to take her hand and be like, Your Majesty Ace. And
She kind of holds out hand. Dance partner.
and I'm going to cast Minor Illusion on him as a king again.
Oh, okay.
Is she kind of like,
right away.
it's like goes to bow or whatever.
Ace is like awkwardly like bowing, but he starts to bow and he's like, "Oh, that's right, she can't see me." And or no, she can. And then he like stops, hesitates, and then continues. And then he like very tries to take her hand and starts to go out to dance with her.
She's like, I don't know if we've prepared for this one. And she's like listening to the music. I suppose we can just wing it.
Let's just fake it till we make it.
Performance.
So that's a 5 minus 1, so 4.
She rolled an 8. She rolled an 8. You guys are just vibing. You're doing your own thing. She's like really awkward. It's like
She's doing the worm.
it's really
He's like, put it in the basket. Put it in the basket.
lawnmower.
Taking a shower. Let it
Oh,
rain.
okay.
Make it rain.
Oh boy.
Who else would like to dance? To this is a
Asher
little
will
bit more
just be
upbeat
sitting there
stuff.
drinking.
Same.
She's drinking
Same with
that.
Rowan.
Yeah, Kuran's been a bit distracted.
Okay, I'm going to get up and
Karan
go
is
dance by
distracted.
myself.
With that, Rowan is gonna follow Briar and dance with Briar again because he.
I figured you would have just grabbed someone and been like, come.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting to, but Rowan dancing with Briar before he feels a little bit better dancing with Briar, so he's going to
Alright.
dance with Briar.
Roll your performance checks.
Oh, we're doing okay. I rolled a 16.
16.
What performance?
Plus 2, I think you were.
I have 11
We
plus 2,
vibing.
13.
13. You guys are much better than Ace and Elena. Elena's kind of like she's just letting loose. She's letting loose though. She's
So-
vibing.
Remember, Rowan, this is one of those instances where we dance like this. It's not the slow romantic one.
Stay in the house, right? Stay in the
Yes, stay in the house. Here we go. And ooh, and then I want to twirl Roland. Like, give me your hand, and I'm going to like get smaller so I can do this.
Rowan's gonna kind of bend his knees down and kind of like put his hand out and do like a little twirling.
Ace, Elena kind of like grabs her hands and just kind of like going like that. I don't know how we look compared to everybody else, but describe it for me.
But it doesn't matter as long as we're having fun. I'm having fun. Are you? And I'm gonna try to twirl her
Roll
again.
performance.
That-
What's your performance?
Do I?
Roll
Okay, performance. Okay, 12.
No.
You left
Come on, that's pretty high. Come on, it's 12.
Yeah. No, you're fine. You're fine. You go to twirl and she recognizes that you're about to do a twirl. And she goes to twirl and she catches her heel and she collapses to the ground.
Can I try with the dex save to try to catch it?
Yes. Roll a dex save. She
please.
starts to fall.
Do it, Ace.
She rolled a nat one.
Okay, so it's 15 plus 1, so 16.
16. She starts to fall, she trips or whatever, and she starts to laugh as she's falling, but you catch her and kind of like scoop her up close, and she's just laughing. She like slaps your chest like.
Does Rowan see this? Does Rowan see this?
Yeah, I would say.
Rowan, I'm gonna kind of like gesture Briar around and kind of give a thumbs up to Ace. And is just jiving with Briar.
She kind of like slaps your chest a bit, Ace, and she's like, I want to see everyone. And she kind of turns around and she kind of like goes like this, and there's like this light mist that kind of starts to form around everything, and like kind of almost fills the room, and she kind of like looks around and sees everybody, and she just kind of like looks at everybody having like a really good time, and she's just smiling, and she just laughs, and she's kind of like shaking back and forth, whatever.
And I'm gonna do like a little nod to Ace, like kind of like switch.
Switch? Okay. Yeah, I'll leave.
I'm gonna switch with Ace and dance with Elena, and yeah.
I bow to Briar and be like, "Milady, do you mind if I have this dance?"
I'm gonna let's go, big boy, and I'm gonna grab his hand, and I'm going to twirl into him.
So easy enough. Why not? Okay, Elena is kind of like, what?
What kind of dance is this music? Like, what'd you say at this point?
You get the sense at this point that it is starting to change paces or change tune. They're kind of wrapping up the song as this, and it is starting to turn kind of a little bit slower.
Okay. Rowan is gonna kind of bow down to Elena. She can see him, right?
She can, yes. She's like, okay. You actually see her looking at. Everybody looks so nice tonight.
Yeah. And Rowan's gonna kind of bow down. May I have? And
she kind of like picks you up and stop.
Okay. And then Rowan is going to do a slow dance, attempt to slow dance with Elena.
All right, perfect. Roll your performance check.
It's gonna be a middle school dance. You better do well, Rowan.
Oh yeah,
be real.
You know what? I'm gonna use Scanlan.
All right, Scanlan, let's go.
That's the opposite of what you should use.
That's a 16 plus. I think it's a 2 plus 2. Hang on, let me double check. Performance. Right. That's an 18.
You both have 18s. I didn't add her modifier or whatever. She rolled an 18. I'll just say whatever. Yeah, it's actually very pleasant. You guys kind of drawing from what you had learned the night before, whatever. And she kind of one hand in one and the other, and kind of just moving to the.
I'd be like, this is by far the coolest Order of Heroes experience I have ever had. And by that, I mean I've had none. This is my first.
That's right. You're always outside.
I'm gonna look at Briar as we're slow dancing. I'm gonna don't you put your hands on my butt.
What else? I can't reach anything else, Ace. I can't reach anything else.
I know what you're thinking. Don't you do it.
Rowan is taller than Ace.
Oh, well, I was holding Rowan's butt the whole time.
Elena is even shorter than Briar. Elena's 5'2".
He wants Elena to touch his butt, though. There's a difference there.
That's true.
Listen, 5'2" to like 6'3". That's not butt necessary. It's only like a foot. It's only a foot.
Only a foot.
Only
a foot. Back.
Some Alexia buttons in chat. Thank you for it. Rowan's just gonna try to just keep an eye out and guiding her and making sure that we're not bumping into anybody. Basically making it super comfortable and guiding with his hands.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys know how to do that, but when you dance, you guide
Yeah.
a lot with the hands.
Yeah, you.
So I'm just like making
Honey,
sure
you don't
she's
have to tell
comfortable.
me.
Oh, well. I'm, just making sure, and I was gonna tell her, I was like, Jasper never really brought me into the meetings or anything when it came to the Order of Heroes. I kind of just sat at the parks in the city until he came back. This is quite an experience. Thank you for introducing us to this destiny, right?
Destiny. You have piqued my interest, though, and you're going to have to tell me before we part ways.
Okay.
What it is he said about me.
Hmm.
She kind of like smiles, like smirk, like. And I
Well,
can
Lorena.
see you right now, so don't lie.
Rowan's gonna kind of, just like my face right now, I'm gonna kind of get like shy, rosy cheeked, and just smile down. Well, it's really not my place, but I do feel that you should know, because if I was in your shoes, vice versa, he loved you, Elena. He never wanted to leave. He never wanted you to leave. And I do feel that I'm at fault. Knowing now, it's not so much as fault. But I feel like now it's my job to try to get you guys reunited. He left because of me. I think I should point you in his direction.
I'm sure our paths will cross again. His and mine, and yours and mine, and yours and his. And the destinies are in motion, as I suspect.
They are. I promise you I'm a little bit more patient in this, but I want it to happen faster, and I feel like he could protect you with everything going on. So
You see, as you
where's
say,
the shoe?
Exactly. You see,
Shoe.
and he has like, it's almost a goofy looking, like it's really frilled, traditional costume or whatever, like from whatever his homeland was, or whatever. And he's just kind of like sitting in the corner, like leaning against the pole, just watching.
It's a grumpy shoe.
I really never wanted to leave him as well, but that's what I've talked about when I said that I have to look past what it is that I want for what is best of Aelos and the greater
Rowan
good.
Rowan's going to attempt to spin.
Roll performance. Imagine she falls twice. No! Oh, I thought it was a 1. It was a 7. Okay.
I got a 15 plus 2, so that's a 17.
With that, she kind of like off kilter as she spins a little bit, but you kind of like correct her.
Realign.
Kind of it's somewhat graceful little spin.
I'm a quick learner.
I think so.
Promise me, Elena. Tell him how you feel when you see him next.
I think next we meet, it might be the proper time for that.
I think so as well. Fate it's funny. Here I am. Here we are. And I'm going to kind of gesture to Ace and Briar dancing over there. And I couldn't be more thankful. Don't tell him that I told you that. I'll probably have to do a lot of training. Or I don't know what my consequence is at this point. he's somebody that I look up to.
He's a good person to learn from. He's a noble man.
Asshole.
That too. She gonna laugh.
I want you guys back together so bad, but and then Rowan with that is just gonna kind of just continue the dance and just kind of leave the conversation.
All right, everybody else.
All right, Brio. What did you say we show these hoity-toity people how we do this? And yeah, we try. And I will try to lift you up in the air in a circle.
And I'm going to try to
Do an athletics check.
like this.
Okay, I can do that. I can do that.
Do an athletics, and Briar do a performance.
Amazing.
Okay, so that's 19 plus 4, so that's a 23, boy.
Excellent.
And I
You
rolled
hoist
it
her
up.
up with one arm. Just. And what was your performance, Briar?
18.
With the 18, you hoist her up, and she does this almost like mesmerizing, like spin somehow on your hand as you spin around.
Yes.
Excellent, well performed. And as you guys do that, it's like a couple of the crowd kind of like, ooh, kind of like a gasp from the crowd. No, hold on, let me see. You see like this other. You see this guy attempt to pick up his date and crumbles down.
Oh, no.
And then he kind of like tries to make it as like a kind of hides his head as they dance, and she kind of like shoves him a little bit. He failed. Excellent. All right, with that,
I know this is gonna be really bold, but I'm gonna step away from Elena.
Okay.
It's gonna be weird, but I'm gonna ask Karan to dance.
That's fine.
I mean, if the
Elena
song,
kind of.
sure. Karan's honestly been a bit distracted this whole time. He's not.
Yeah, and Asher would have been just feeding you drinks at this point. Like, just
Oh,
I
Karan.
just assumed we're at the table and Asher's just like putting drinks in front of you until you like lighten up.
Yeah, he's not really like want to get force fed drunk though. He's being, like meta it a bit. He's honestly been hanging on something that Asher said earlier in the evening. Asher Asterian.
Mm.
So, but yes, if you know, he's not going to turn you down because you
No.
approached him. So
Rowan
Would you
is
like
going
to
to.
approach Asher and talk to him, Assyrian?
no. It's nothing. It's specifically he made mention about them being oath breakers, and that word pinged something in Karan's head with in consideration of recent events that have transpired. So he's just been kind of like pondering over that. But he has, you didn't want to draw attention to it in the first place at all. So that's just kind of his reaction. He's like, oh, like got snapped into it a bit.
Mhm.
So if you'd like to dance, sure.
I don't mean to like abruptly cut off Elena. I'm probably gonna walk her back to a seat.
Yeah,
and
Elena, as you walk her back, she kind of holds out her hand to Asher. Asher Flatfang. You're not going to be boring tonight.
I assumed when my wife wasn't here, I'd have a break, but
Rowan is gonna put his hand out to Karan.
Of course. Why not?
All right, Rowan is gonna take Karan out. And
Who's
dance.
leading? Is the
Who's
question.
leading?
Oh, no, should we roll for a d20? Should we roll
Double
a
lead.
d20?
You can both lead. You can work it till it's a both lead.
Wait, how does that work? Hang on a second.
Both
that-
have
yeah,
your
how-
arms on your shoulders.
Just walk back and forth awkwardly. Something tells me that a certain instructor somewhere in the conclave would be rolling over in their grave. if
No,
they
you can
did.
just
Alright.
do one on
Alright.
hand, or one on shoulder, one on waist. Each of you. It's both 50-50.
Blind, do you want to roll for a d20 to see who? Okay, whoever rolls the highest is the lead.
Who's
Okay.
the top?
All right.
Okay.
Who's the top? Who's the bottom?
Right? I got a 6.
Oh, I got an 11. I thought
there you go.
okay, I
Lead the way.
guess.
Lead the way, Kurun.
All right. So,
Lead the way. I wrote.
is it still the romantic setting, or has the pace changed a bit?
It's a different romantic song. Just
All right. Well then,
Rowan
get
is
preparing
very.
squirrels then.
Rowan is very secure. He doesn't mind. He's having fun.
it's not
That's fine.
necessarily romantic. It's a little bit more like jaunt around the room a little bit, kind of.
Okay. All right. Okay. So it's not so much. It's more so like dancing in tandem rather than like the
It's
lead.
not intimate,
and,
like yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. However you want us to work with these
Roll
roles.
performance for what it's worth.
Karun did better in vocals than he did with dancing. Just saying.
17
Oh,
plus. I think
18.
I believe it's 2, so it's 19. So yeah,
All
it is
right.
2.
Well, I got an 18.
Karan begins singing. I dreamed a dream of a bad guy. it's not canon. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's harkening on
fine.
his. I dreamed a dream of a bad guy.
So Asher rolled a 10 with the +0 modifier.
For Elena.
Straight average.
Just straight average, and she is just one notch above you. You guys are kind of just. It's a bit of an awkward dance or whatever.
All
Would
right.
you like to say anything to their partners?
Oh.
Or?
This is good, Ron. I needed to take my mind off things. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's enjoy the evening, and this might be our only time doing this, so might as well enjoy what we have.
Well, if we make it back to my homeland, then there will certainly be song and dance abundant.
Out of curiosity, are there any elves with silver eyes like mine there?
Actually, silver is not an unfamiliar hue. Typically, bright, vibrant eyes are pretty common. Sometimes there are some darkness, so I wouldn't say that silver is abundant. It's not like I haven't seen it before. But yours particularly different. And again, that could be from your human ancestry as well.
Could be. I don't know. As we're dancing, I'm just gonna kind of just really get into it. But my mom always avoided the topic. Anytime I asked, and you mentioned that, you noticed something different, but you couldn't point it out. Was it? And Brown's gonna kind of gesture to his ears. Is it?
That would be one of the things. It's it's a little more dominant in those that have elf ancestry, that the ears be prominently expressed. So you certainly are an interesting creature, I have to admit. And who knows, perhaps, if not in my lands, you travel with us in Briar, perhaps there's something that we can find out there. Maybe we can help shed a little light on your own ancestry that it appears your mother was reluctant to tell you about.
Why? We'll find out, I guess. And here's to the journey ahead. And just continue dancing.
So as each of you are kind of dancing to this song, you guys kind of finish up that your conversation. Elena, you see Elena kind of scurrying along the room, kind of holding Asher's hand, kind of scurrying everybody. Everybody kind of, she brings everybody into this little circle, whatever, and she puts her arms around everybody, and you kind of form this little group circle and kind of sway and dance. Everyone, it's been a wonderful pleasure to have finally met each of you, and our paths will cross again, but I'm afraid we will be parting ways come morning, and, well, fret not, we will meet again, and I think we have the beginning of a lovely fellowship of heroes here, and you are going to do great things. And one day when we all reconvene, you will be stronger, you will be more bonded, and probably have been through more. But I long for the day that we meet again.
Rowan is gonna kind of break away and just kind of rush her into a big hug and just kind of.
At this point, I mean, if you guys consent, all kind of like big group
Group
hug,
hug.
big group cuddle puddle hug.
Group hug.
Rowan is gonna say, "We are the fated heroes."
Bro, that's a good name. That's a
Asher's
good
feeling
name.
kind of like,
That's a good name. Is he canon? Is he canon?
Fated.
The fated heroes.
I could see it in a book. I certainly could.
I like that. I like that. The fated heroes. The
Rowan's
fated
gonna
five.
Rowan is gonna just kind of pull her really tight and just get her into just a really strong, firm hug.
She kind of like tries to squeeze back.
He's gonna laugh.
But you crushed the life out of her. No.
She dies. She's dead. Oh god. Wait, last time I made that joke.
Oh no! Yeah. No.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No. The fated hero.
our chat might actually like start rioting if you were to kill Elena at this point.
She drops down dead. No murders planned for this. By this point, the you see Asher Asterion kind of like walk over and motions to the orchestra and tells them to play little something different, and they kind of like play just very, very quietly, and he kind of takes a glass and goes ting 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 ting, tries to get everybody's attention as the music is ended, and he kind of ladies and gentlemen, I'm thankful for this evening and everybody that's not Elena. Everybody that's donated and made their way here tonight. I'd like to thank the temple, and he goes on kind of like a list or whatever. Eden and I have an announcement we would like to make, and we were going to wait till we made it back to Kingshaven, but I'm sure word will travel from here. But it is that Eden and I are betrothed. We will be getting married. And you hear as like some people kind of like begin to clap, just kind of like quietly, and Eden kind of like snuggles up to him, and you see as everybody's kind of like seated there, the figures in white from the Temple of Light kind of like begin to stand up and make their way out or whatever. And as they kind of make their way out, they kind of turn, one of them kind of turns and like kind of raises his fist, Oathbreaker, and then turns, and you see Eden kind of deflate a little bit, and another one of the Temple of Light people kind of turns around and, how could you do this, Asher? She's a demon. She's a succubus. You fool! And they turn, and the Temple of Light people make their way out. And Asher kind of just pulls her in, and Eden kind of begins to like kind of buries herself into Asher's kind of like into his arm or whatever. And he just kind of like comforts her. It's all right. We knew this would happen. And by this point, the Temple of Light people have all left. And the orchestra kind of stops. music ends. Kind of this awkward situation. And
Rowan's gonna
Balin.
get.
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say Rowan's gonna get kind of. You guys are gonna visibly see Rowan get kind of irritated.
And Balin kind of like puts down a chicken wing. Starts clapping.
I'll stand up and start clapping too.
And there's only a few. I mean, it's almost like some of the room is kind of like, I don't know if they should. They don't know like how they will stand if they do. And even Jormund himself kind of awkwardly Asher Asterion kind of, as he's holding, kind of consoling Eden, he kind of just like waves and kind of makes his way over to you, or he kind of like motions to the or looks at the orchestra and kind of motions for them to continue playing music. And he kind of makes his way over to your little group hug, whatever. Sorry for that.
Leave it to some racists to ruin a perfectly good party.
You aren't the ones who should be apologizing. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And you see like Eden kind of like turns away from them, and you see kind of like her makeup kind of streaked or whatever, and she's like, I'll never understand that.
I don't think I ever will. Rowan is going to.
I can't choose my birth, my heritage, and yet somehow I'm cursed for that.
They're just jealous of your good looks, my lady.
She kind of like,
You're a lucky man, Asher. Eden is, and Rowan's gonna kind of gesture to the party, the life of this party.
She kind of like leans over and like grabs like a whole like cocktail or whatever and just and throws it on the ground. That's right.
I mean, she was the first one to dance. She's the one that brought us in. She's the more interjecting one. Energetic one.
She kind of stomps over to the orchestra or whatever, and she's just like this, and they start to play something a little bit, a little more jaunty, and she kind of like tells them to pick it up, and she starts kind of like kicking and dancing or whatever, and grabs Asher and kind of a much more like tavern style, like, you know, music, whatever that they're playing, and at this point kind of just dancing recklessly or carelessly or whatever. And some of the other guests have kind of started to head out.
Rowan's gonna grab Asher.
That-
Asher. Ace.
Ace.
Start dancing with Ace. Just kind of doing like a little skip, like a bro, like we're just gonna be bro skipping through the hall.
Right. With that, you you are kind of the last to kind of leave as the mayor kind of stumbles over. He's like belligerently drunk, and he's like, "All right, time."
This is not a typical politician.
Time to clean up, and we will then get out of my house.
Yes, sir.
And you see us kind of like different servers or whatever kind of going and cleaning up the all of the mess or whatever, and you guys kind of meet outside the town hall, and Asher and Eden kind of like leaning on him, and Asher kind of to each of you. Well, it was a pleasure meeting all of you. I hope our paths cross again. We will be taking our trophy and heading to the capital.
I'm deeply sorry that anyone dared cast a shadow on your happy announcement.
Indeed. The history of Aelos is so wrought with persecution. But you two, I feel you represent the future.
I hope so. I understand with the light, the Temple of Light cracking down more on any magic that isn't sacred in nature or healing in nature. And I mean, Eden is the antithesis of that. She's a warlock and tiefling at that. Oh. That's why I had to step away. I know the Temple of Light still does a lot of good, and I still have hope for them, but they're currently heading in the wrong direction with their seeking to legislate and control more of the councils and king. I just hope that King Cantonius just holds his ground on these issues and doesn't succumb to their whims, especially on the magic bans and all that.
Magic bans?
They're en route passing legislation against anything that isn't healing magic.
Even then, it was still expensive. That's why there wasn't really anything we could afford when we went to the alchemist earlier.
Yeah, a lot of people are preparing to have, I don't know, contingency plans for if the legislation passes and the order does get its wish. That would make people like Eden an easy target. So the Order of Heroes is obviously filled with magic users, and we're definitely opposed to that, but we're all kind of clashing for this. But until we meet again, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I can already tell you'll do great things. You're a strong bunch.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ron's gonna put his hand out for a handshake.
Nice firm handshake. Not overly aggressive or anything. Just
Just a nice mutual. Yeah.
Asher's gonna turn and be like, "Thank you," and then kind of chuckle a little bit, be like, "I hope you like wearing those suits because I have a feeling you're not gonna have a say." I'm gonna kind of wink and look over at his now fiance.
She kind of like taps him on the chest or whatever, and it's like, I think he secretly likes it. He like immediately like unbuttons it and throws it off. No, I absolutely do not. But wedding day, we're gonna have a very special one, tailor-made, and it's going to be comfortable, and I'm going to enjoy it. Can I get married in my armor? No, honey.
Ace is gonna put his hand out for like a, one of the soldier handshakes, and he's gonna look at him and go, "You keep her safe, pretty boy."
You watch out for yourself, handsome. He kind of just winks. You were muted, right? I don't know if you were meaning to talk. Oh, okay. And with that, you see as Corbin and Elena and Asher and Eden and Jormund and a few different kind of guards on kind of
each of them, Jormund. It's way past my bedtime. We have the good cushions on the carriage, right? And he kind of said, this is a pretentious bastard.
Where y'all heading to?
Headed to Kingshaven. A few days' journey. We'll probably make a few stops along the way, but more processions, more. Well, it brings the funds in, I suppose.
Travel safe.
You too. Farewell, heroes. With that,
Farewell.
they kind of trail off, and Elena kind of stops.
This is goodbye.
This is goodbye.
No. I'll see you later.
We'll see you later. For sure. It's been a
Hopefully,
pleasure.
Jack.
I'm going to miss you. I will think of you often. And until we meet again.
If not so bold, but are you going to be stationary or are you going to be roaming?
I'm not certain yet. As it stands, I'll be in Kinghaven, but
I'll keep you updated.
if I need you, I will find you.
Mm-hmm.
You have
And
a
if you
point.
need me, find me. I'm sure you will.
That's right. Hopefully I'll have Jethro and Toll. Rowan's gonna give her another strong hug and step away. And he's gonna step back into Asher and kind of, not Asher, Ace, fuck, and kind of, hey, go.
You're muted, by the way. Okay.
It's been an honor, Elena. I hope to see you again.
You will. I'm sure we all will. Just stick together and keep each other safe. I would like to see all of you again, and if all is well, we will all be together when we meet again.
I'm gonna
that-
give Elena a big hug.
She accepts it. She kind of retaliates, gives you a big squeeze. And with that, Corbin kind of walks alongside her and kind of like just gently nudges her with his elbow and kind of like holds it out like, lady. And she, instead of like hooking her arms and her arm into that, she kind of just like puts her hand on his elbow, grabs his weenus basically.
Rowan is going to walk right up to him with confidence. You protect her at all costs.
I will. It's
And
been a pleasure knowing you all. You're sturdy adventurers, and I appreciate when she counted on you, she could, and may we meet again.
maybe we meet again. And then Rowan's going to do a warrior handshake with Corbin.
Steps it, overly aggressive, squeezes your forearm like.
Assert dominance.
After that, Rowan's just gonna kind of like
energy. Small.
Rowan's
penis
gonna-
energy.
Rowan's gonna walk by Briar because we had the conversation of him being a shoe, and he's gonna be looking at his hand and his forearm, and be like, "You're not wrong." and just in a very, very hushed tone, so
this
that
point-
he doesn't hear.
They've kind of like led away, and you see like a carriage pulls up, and there's like armed guards and cavaliers on horses in each, and several different, or they have two different kind of really nice carriages with Order of Heroes sigil on it and all that, and they begin to
You know, I said something during a meeting. Well, during the group hug. What if we're the Fated Five?
Well, it was certainly fate that brought us together, and it seems to be the wind of fate that carries us forward, but who are we to name ourselves?
Sure.
Balin, he has like this goblet or whatever, and he's kind of like, you see he's kind of like picking at it like with a knife. He's like trying to pluck out the gemstones from it. Fated 5. I like the ring of that. And you see one of the servers kind of like rushes out or whatever, and like, sir, please, could you? He's like, what, you want it? He holds up the knife like, take it then. The server's like, right. Turns away, and Balin, oh, he's face. And I imagine that's when you guys are heading back to your
yeah.
So kind of a low casual jaunt back, and you guys make it back to Balin's, and everything is on fire. I'm just kidding.
Oh god. No.
Roll for initiative.
The only time we will end an episode peacefully going to sleep, and
Only time?
oh yeah, every other time. I mean, we can keep going. There's something that's about to just happen right after this. You want to keep going, guys?
Oh no, I'll take the peaceful rest.
I'll take a sleep.
No, I'm not going for them.
Beggars can't be choosers.
All right, everybody that's still here and has made it out this long, again, another long episode. I'm sorry. Oh god. Love you. If you're still here, you're an absolute trooper. And if you're watching this back, you're an absolute trooper. And we love you guys. Thanks for all the follows and the subs and the amazing raid. And it's been great. Roll initiative against assassins. Oh god.
Keep being legends, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Keep being legend. Stay legendary. Let's we're gonna jump over to our screen. We'll play the credits to tag us out, and we will raid somebody, show somebody some love. So everybody, love you guys too. Thanks for hanging out, Dave. Thanks for hanging out, Danessa. Hello, Vinton.
Dave, sign my forehead.
Sign my forehead. All right, everybody, stay legendary. Have a great night.
See ya.